Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Episode 2. We've decided on the name for the podcast. Me and Darren, we've had a little chat, and yes, we've got the new name. This is episode 2. We are obviously scheduling over the next 5 weeks to get a load of podcasts ahead for you. I know future podcasts, you guys are going to really like some of the stuff that we have planned. Future guests we have coming on, loads of education, like I said before. So yes, if you are watching this, drop a like as well. Make sure you comment as well. We would really appreciate that. I've got Darren with me as always. Darren, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, very
nice
good.
One
today, Luke.
Yeah, all good. How's your week been since we last spoke last Monday?
Busy, really busy week last week, and then a busy weekend this weekend just gone. So I was up to Leicester on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, took my eldest daughter for a university open day.
Nice.
So that was cool. And then yesterday I was off to London.
Okay.
Went then to Southeast London, Crystal Palace, for a concert.
Oh, busy man.
Yeah, so it's a lot of time in the car, so I'm a bit stiff and tired, but yeah. Very good weekend otherwise. So a lot of fun. How about yourself? What did you get up to?
Yeah, not much. I mean, last week was a really hot week, wasn't it? I think a lot of my clients struggled last week as well. I think for me though, last week was quite a slow week. Me and the missus, we are probably around, I want to say 5-6 weeks away from having our first little one.
Oh wow! Jeez, okay.
So we're literally preparing for that. So, but at the moment it's just taking week by week. The heat last week, especially for her, she was struggling.
I bet.
She's all right now, obviously. It was it's a slow week last week. I don't know about you, but my appetite wasn't there last week. I think it was because of the heat, wasn't it? It's just like everything. Sleep suffers.
Probably like yourself. I'm trying hard to hydrate.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to eat to a food plan, and I thought I was eating a lot, and I still managed to drop 2 pounds.
That's mental.
That was me trying to gain weight last week.
Yeah. So. It's just one of them, isn't it? But but apart from that, all good. Trained legs this morning actually with my brother. So heavy leg session with the hack.
It was nice and cooler for that then.
Yeah. I tell you, the gym is the best place to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I trained legs Friday, and that was a struggle. I had to just cut some body out. Yeah. Just sets of squats were just no.
Oh, literally, yeah. And especially the gym that you train in. Obviously, you're training one of like the old school proper bodybuilding gyms. It's not like one of the commercial aircon ones,
Oh no. The aircon here is a big garage door gets open,
which is pretty cool to be honest, isn't it? So
yeah, it's a great place to be training. So it certainly gets you enthusiastic and makes you work hard.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Anyway. So
yeah. But that was all for me basically. Yeah, keeping it nice and easy.
That's cool. So today's subject is I'm going to take the lead today, and we're going to quiz you a little bit. So
let's go for it.
We were going to talk about your work and get an understanding of what you do. So a couple of weeks ago, you introduced me to your website. That your website being bemuscle.com, BEE, as it is on your shirt.
Yes.
And obviously you are a online transformation coach.
Correct, yes.
So what I wanted to do was quiz you about or ask you questions about transformations.
Yep, absolutely.
And the people you work with. Obviously, transformations can be quite a few different things. What transformations are people asking for when they contact you?
I think, first of all, when people want a transformation, straight away, they just simply want to look and feel good. I think that's the main transformation. A lot of the guys, especially when they first sign up, it's all about, I want to lose a certain amount of body weight. I want to get into X size dress, whatever it is. So it's those types of people that are just basically looking to look and feel better, basically.
Okay, so building on that, what is the typical starting place for them? Are they people that are already healthy and exercising, or are they complete beginners for you?
So it can be both, really, but I'm mainly targeted at the moment the beginners. And this could be people that have been to the gym before. It could be people that have just, struggled to stay consistent in the gym. But it's mainly beginners, mainly people that have, tried lots of different things. Eventually people get frustrated. I was exactly the same. And then you do get to a point where you just want to reach out to someone and just get help. And I remember when I wanted help, especially when I went for a muscle building phase, and then I wanted to get lean. But the way I was approaching it was really wrong. And I just couldn't lose weight. But when I reached out to, it was a guy called Mark. And yeah, he showed me a couple of things, and it was just, it was actually so simple but without me reaching out, I would never have known, those little things that would have worked. And then afterwards, you look back and you go, oh yeah, it's so simple. It's so easy. But at the time you're so, like we talked about in the last episode, when you mentioned about it's such a confusing space, isn't it? Because there's so many people posting all these different things. So yeah, I totally understand where people are coming from. And that's exactly why I've created the honeycomb method, which is in B Muscle. And it basically, people that are just starting out, it starts off really, really simple, and you build up your wins, and then eventually the transformation will take place. Yeah. But, at the start, it's just all about, trusting these little steps. Because like I said before in the previous episode, people are all in or they're all out, and it's just getting that balance, basically.
That's good. I think you touched on a really good point that even for yourself as a coach, you've taken the time to go and be coached.
Absolutely.
And it was actually a conversation I had with someone last week, one of my business mentors. So he was talking about coaching in a business context. And he says the best thing you can do is go and get coached. Absolutely. Because you start to recognize a good coach and a bad coach, and what you as a customer want. So then you can edit your product to suit your customers. So yeah. So
no, absolutely. I remember having, the first guy, Mark, who I got in contact with, he sort of just showed me a few things. And then that sort of made a change. And then I remember doing I think it was back in 2017, attempting my first bodybuilding show. And that was, I did everything on my own, didn't have a coach. I sort of did my own diet, thought I needed to do, what I did. And I was happy with that. And then the following year, 2018, I thought, I want to do it again. I reckon I could get leaner. And this time I got in contact with a guy called John, really knowledgeable guy. He was a natural bodybuilder as well. And I followed his plan, and got absolutely shredded for this show. And there's no way I would have got shredded the way I was doing it before. So it just shows how valuable getting a coach is. The way every week it was just, make sure you just do this, just do this, just do this, just do this. And if you actually stick to the plan, which is the hardest part really, is just sticking to it. If you stick to it, the results are guaranteed. It's just, how long can you stick to it for? And especially with a fat loss transformation phase, it's all about that mindset. It's all about the mind, because your mind just wants to throw you off at every opportunity, every craving, every hidden sort of, anything's going to try and stop you. And your mind will fight against you just to be comfortable. Because, your body doesn't like being uncomfortable, does it? So, but really interesting. I'm glad I had John for that bodybuilding competition prep. That was 2018. And then a couple of years later, I actually had Brandon, as you know, he helped me out for the 2021 competition.
Oh, brilliant.
So shout out to him. Brandon's really, really knowledgeable. And he helped me through. We would sort of look at my physique each week, and then he'd recommend what he thought. I would, either, agree or disagree with him. But at the end of the day, I sort of looked and thought, hang on a minute, when you're in a dieting phase, this is why a coach is so important, I believe, is because they're not in your brain right now. Though the coach is the outside perspective, and they can see what you're doing wrong in just a couple of seconds, can't they?
That could be, really nice and objective. And again, similarly, I've used either the help from Josh in the past too,
Yeah.
And again, one of the biggest things there wasn't necessarily the technicality of it. It was the accountability and just keeping me on track. That was probably the biggest takeaway for me.
Yeah. And I think having someone there the whole time, they don't need to be with you all the time. They don't need to be messaging you all the time, but just knowing that there's someone there, and there's someone that's going to be watching you once a week, that's expecting certain numbers, it just keeps that bit of pressure, that bit of accountability on you. And I think that's what ultimately does the trick, doesn't it, to be honest?
So let's bring it back to your work, because obviously your transformation is very much to that physique competitive level. Obviously your transformation is more talking to or helping those people get into the health and fitness space.
Yeah.
So we talked about sort of where they are. Give me an idea of so like who comes to you.
Yeah. So I think these are types of people that are basically, they've tried a lot of stuff. Like we mentioned before, they've seen a lot of stuff online, very confused as the space is health and fitness.
Yeah.
No one needs to tell you that. I think as well, it's one of those where you're almost frustrated in yourself. You've just had enough. There's just nothing out there that is really giving you sort of the guidance and the move, sort of moving you forward. I do believe though that the reason why a transformation does take place and what these people are is that new identity in themselves. But I think because they're lost in social media, they've tried lots of stuff. If they're being honest, have they stuck with it long enough? Probably not, if we're being honest. And again, like we said, it's about the accountability. So yeah, I think it's for especially the foundation phase that I set. It is mainly for people that are literally frustrated. Maybe they've lost body fat before. It's come straight back. And again, they just can't seem to find the reason. Why can't I lose weight? Why doesn't it stay off? And then, yeah, that's basically my job to come in and make them aware of exactly what's happening. And it's just opening eyes, isn't it, really?
Yeah. I think another thing is, I think one of the things that the fitness industry isn't good at is being realistic. So you see a lot of people posting, whether it's coaches or product, posting results. They're always going to give you the best case scenario, the best example.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you the average and say that, look, let's be honest, if you're on a 10-week weight loss phase, you're looking to get it to drop anywhere between 10 and 20 pounds. So that's actually quite a big window where you are going to see other results where people are saying, oh, X such person dropped 50 pounds in 10 weeks. So, you've got to give an example who that person was.
Yeah.
And what situation were they in? Because somebody's dropped 50 pounds across 10 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a great result. But some people haven't got 50 pounds to lose. Or it's going to be harder for them to actually achieve it. Like I say.
Yeah.
So having that coach and being able to chat to you, you can give that honest feedback and go, right, looking at your goals and where you are, this is reasonably what you can expect to lose. And you can set out a standard for them and say, set our goal, right, our realistic goal for the next 4 weeks or 8 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Focus on.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then I remember in the last episode, you mentioning that, everyone starts in different places, don't they? And, and like you said before, someone may have a lot of weight, quite a few pounds to lose, but other people, they don't actually have that much weight to lose. As you know as well, especially when you get new clients, new people into the gym as well, when they start lifting weights, that's a physique change in itself, using actually, the muscles, the water weight being distributed, more efficiently as well, due to the muscle working and things like that. Just these little small things. I think as well, I think it's the expectation as well that you have within yourself as well, because I think if you start a program, or if someone started a recovery program with you, for example, if they have really high expectations and they think this is going to be done in a couple of weeks, then I think they're setting themselves up for failure ultimately.
Yeah.
So I think it's us as coaches, really reassuring them that yes, you can get your result. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
It's been proven. Loads of people around the world can get your result, have been in your position, but the timing and where you are, that will dictate how long this takes. And I just think people need to be just a little bit more sort of realistic with their time frame.
Yeah, and I think coaches being a bit honest with people.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, well. I think being honest is
just
is really
giving that realistic expectancy.
Yeah, so, I think so.
Yeah, cool. So obviously, the thing is transformations. You spoke on that, touched on that briefly. Everyone comes to you for that transformation in their look and their physique, let's say, and their appearance. But working with you, obviously, I've had an insight into B muscle. You touch on nutrition, you touch on habits, and so forth. What kind of other changes are people getting when they work with you?
Yeah, so I mean, I always say with a transformation, this isn't just your body changing. This is every area in your life. when clients come on board, and especially it was a couple of weeks ago when we had a group call, we always talk about person A and person B. The person you are today, starting this transformation, you're not going to be the same person at the end. You're going to have a totally different identity. You're going to believe you are someone different. You're going to have different habits. You're not going to be doing the same things. You're going to have a different environment. So your house, your home, the people around you, it's all going to be totally different. And it's quite hard for people to sort of picture that at the start. But again, this is over time. And it's not to say that you're going to lose your personality. You yourself are going to become different. You will always be you, but what you do changes. And that's the main thing. So yeah, people do come for obviously a transformation. They just want to look better, be more confident, lose the weight, etc. But with that comes so many more benefits to the rest of your life. It just elevates the whole life. And everything becomes easier, better, fitter. I mean, you could probably list every benefit under the sun, couldn't you? As soon as someone gets in shape.
Yeah, there's again, that's the exciting and the cool thing about it, and that so much more comes as just a side off from that. People have come to you without necessarily those things in mind, but they're reaping all those other benefits.
Absolutely, yeah. No, so it's a really good point. I think as well that it's not the way that social media is as well. It's all about just go to the gym, just eat the right food. Everyone is looking on social media really confused, but deep down, everyone knows what to do. Everyone knows what to do. Yeah. If I told, Joe Bloggs down the street who was slightly overweight, I'd say to him, do you want to get in shape? He turns around and goes, yeah. If I ask him, what do you need to do? He will probably tell me, I need to eat a bit better and exercise. Yeah. But what the main thing is that people don't know is why they're not doing it. And then that is our job as a coach to find out why are they not doing it. Some people may turn around and go, it's just, it's stuff that I just don't want to do. I'm just not excited. I don't have the energy to do all that. Okay, well, why don't you have the energy? Why are you not excited? And you can just pick apart all these things and you can go, right, you've obviously not found something you love. Your diet is probably dictating your energy. We can sort that out. And do you know what I mean? There's so many different ways. And yeah, I think that it all comes down to, if yourself watching this thinking, why am I not doing certain things? Have a really good think, because if you keep thinking about it, eventually the answer will come to you. It will come to you, but you just need to keep thinking about it. And usually it's something that you've been putting off due to discomfort. And if you can face that pain of doing it for a good amount of time, your transformation will come to you.
Cool. That sounds great. So if, you talked about your 8 to 10 week intro.
Yes.
With B Muscle. Just as an overview, what sort of process is that for someone that's getting started?
Yeah. So the 8-week foundation phase was basically designed for people that it's just very simple steps and you don't need to overthink anything. Okay. It's very simple day-to-day actions you can do. And what this does is this sets the foundation, because a lot of people fail because they skip the foundation phase. They go way too advanced too early. Yeah. And then they wonder why they've hit a brick wall and they can't go forward. And the reason why, they had no base to fall back on, basically. So yeah, during this 8 weeks, it's really simple. We focus on things like clean eating, cleaning up the diet, water intake, maybe a few gym sessions. We focus on sleep, okay? Tips and tricks of how to get better quality sleep and duration. And then snacking as well. Snacking's a huge one. So we look to reduce those unplanned snacks in those weeks. If you can master that 8 weeks and just complete those 8 weeks, the transformation is so close for you, because you've now set yourself on the right path. And then going forward, all you need to do is tweak things that you're currently doing. And you've set the motion. So yeah, that's all the 8 weeks is. I've currently got an offer on it now. It's 8 weeks for about £39. It's only set for limited spaces before the price then doubles, because obviously it's really cheap. It's not going to stay that price forever. But yeah, it's one of those phases where people should start, give it a try, and just, it will set.
Cool. That touches back when we spoke on earlier and last week about helping people find that starting space.
Yeah.
Understand where you're starting, then you've got something to build on, because everyone's so focused on the final result that they just don't understand how to build that bridge to get there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember you saying that last week. That was a really good point. of everyone's looking at that final transformation, that final end point, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, they can visage the final photo, but there, how do they get there? So
literally, yeah, and it's almost it's almost getting a bit of paper out and just drawing you over here, and then your final result over there, and you're just looking at that final dot over there.
yeah,
But there's all this journey and path. There's a big road. There's loads of stuff in the way, and yeah, you just got to be realistic with yourself and go, look. A favorite quote I like, I can't remember who mentioned this, but for me, it's time is going to pass anyway. So why not in the next 6 to 12 months, you just go for it? Because, these next 6 to 12 months, they're going to pass anyway. The next year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the time is going to go by. So why not do it now? Just get it done. 6 to 12 months of improving your life, improves the rest of your life. So yeah, time's going to pass. Why not do it now?
Cool. Well, that was cool. That was interesting. Hopefully we've got some information or, had a chat and give an idea of what transformations are and what they can be. It isn't just about the getting on the stage. It isn't about getting ready for a photo shoot. It can be that making health and fitness a part of your life, which arguably is bigger than stepping on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got a client, Molly, with me at the moment. She joined last July. So she's nearly at a year now. I asked her the other day because we had a call, and I said, "Can you believe where you are right now?" When we first started the program, she was drinking a lot of like takeaways, processed foods. She wasn't at the gym. She was just absolutely, in terms of like sleep, hydration, just it wouldn't even batter an eyelid for her. And now I look at her and go, wow, she's actually got the confidence now in the last couple of months, she's now standing on stage singing, which is absolutely insane.
But again, that goes back to that the weird side effects and benefits we're seeing.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Yeah.
And, she's consistently hitting 2 gym sessions a week. That's all she's doing, 2 gym sessions. She's hitting her water target. She is tracking her food. Yes, she has up days. She has her cheat meals. She goes off plan an odd day. But like I say to all my clients, if you have one bad day, as long as you're back on it the next day, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And she is stuck to that rule. Fair play to her. She's stuck to it. And yeah, she's down 2 stone, 7 pounds. She's done amazing. That's why I had to get her onto a call and just interview her for some content as well, if I'm being honest. Really,
nice
good job. Really good job.
Yeah, that'd be a very relatable story for a lot of people, I imagine. So
yeah, 100%. I mean, a year from now, if I told, right, Molly, you're going to be 2 stone down, 2 stone, 7 pounds down, you're going to be singing on stage, she would have laughed in my face, that type of thing. So it's amazing. It's not just a transformation. It's not just looking good. It's everything else around it. It's the confidence. You go on in life to do other things that you wouldn't have done before, and your whole life gets elevated. So that's why ultimately I call myself a transformation coach. I don't really want to call myself a fat loss coach, even though obviously I technically am. But there's way more.
It's just a
component
of it, isn't it? So
absolutely, yeah. There's way more to it.
Cool. Well, we'll leave it there on the transformations for today. But no, thank you for that. It was a really nice insight.
Nice one. Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Into the world of transformations and how you work.
Nice one. Yeah, I was just going to. I didn't know if you just wanted to end on a quick tip for people. Really, I'll throw a tip out there for some people. Hopefully, this can help you out. But usually in a transformation, there are 3 stages of a transformation, and that is identity, your habits, and environment, like I've mentioned before. And there is a secret 4th, and that is execution. Okay. Now, execution is basically doing the thing, because like I said before, everyone knows what to do, but people are not doing it. Why are they not doing it? It's because of your identity, who you believe you are, your habits, and your environment. So if I just touch on identity quickly, identity is who you believe. So who you believe you are. So if I believed I was an online coach, I'm a gym goer, I have authority in the fat loss space, I've helped loads of people before, my confidence is high. Okay. I have an identity on myself that I can help people. My habits, after this, I'm going to go downstairs and actually prep 2 of my meals tomorrow. My gym bag will be ready, by the time I wake up. So I have these little habits that keep me in my routine. And then my environment, okay, touching on to the people. Obviously, I've got an amazing wife who's really supportive, and in touch, in terms of the house. The food in the cupboards, it's all the right foods that I need to eat. There's no snacks or bad processed foods that I can easily grab. And it's all these little things that over time it's just come together. But the main thing is execution. It's doing what you need to do. And the easiest way to do what you need to do is, ironically, not think about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely overthinking is a big problem. A big
huge one. I literally think the reason why people don't do it is because they overthink about it.
Yeah.
And if we had the power to not overthink, I think we would all be in a much better place.
Yeah. I think so many people are worrying about not achieving perfection straight away.
Yeah.
But unless you're practicing, you're never going to hit perfection anyway.
No, it's true. So, and we all want perfection for some reason, don't we?
Yeah.
Even us, say, growing our businesses and things like that, we want perfection, but then we have to be realistic and think, no. How would I coach a client? That's how I need to approach the business, because it's exactly the same. And it's a really good thing of, helping people out with transformations, because then I can also mirror that process in other areas of my life. So yeah, it's really good.
That's cool. Yeah. So my final tip for today, and it probably ties in with a little bit of what we've been talking about, but obviously this is one of the ones I give to the people who I treat and train.
Yeah.
And one of the things is, when we're reintroducing movement, so you're starting out, we're just starting to get you moving again properly, is just quite simply move gently. Move gently, move slowly, and build your confidence. Get comfortable with just moving. Don't worry about how well you move just yet. But if you start moving, that moving will improve, but make it a gentle process. And again, this goes back to your all or nothing. I think some people try and almost try and skip rehab and get straight back to training. But straight away they go back to day one, or we got to start the whole rehab process again. So yeah, my one is just starting out, just move gently, build that confidence, and let it just gently build day by day.
Nice. I bet you see. I bet that's quite common, isn't it? People wanting to get back into it, so they go all for it.
Yes.
Even though they've got little sort of things here and there that are stopping them.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, isn't it? But again, yeah, it's like you said, it's the all or nothing approach. People just want to go all for it, and when people eventually give up on it, it's the realization of what I was doing. It just doesn't work. But I think what confuses coaches is, we've all done it before. We'll do something, we'll give up, and then we'll try again, and then we'll give up, and then we'll try again, and then we'll give up, and then we try again. And because you keep trying again, you kind of need, this is why a coach is important. You need someone on the outside to go, hang on a minute, do you know the reason why you keep stopping? It's because of this. And you look at it and go, oh yeah.
Didn't someone define that as stupidity? You do the same thing, repeating it, hoping for a different result. But you keep the same thing.
Yeah, it's going to be the same outcome.
I don't know who I've butchered that quote, and I don't know who I'm quoting.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. Lines. I mean, if you do the same thing, you're going to get the same outcome. It's literally simple as that. Yeah. And I mean, it's a funny thing we all do. We all do it in there's loads of areas in life that we all do it, isn't it? But in terms of like the health and fitness space, at least, we have some knowledge and experience of what not to do, basically, and times of doing it. But yeah, it's interesting in terms of like you for your recovery and stuff like that. When you said people will go all back in training, do you then have to be really sort of strict with the athlete or sort of client and say no, do not train, because they're eager to get in the gym, aren't they? Basically,
that's it. And one of the smart things you have to do is, if there's a guy who trains, guy or girl, they train 4 or 5 days a week. They go to the doctor, and the doctor says stop training. They're not going to stop training.
Yeah.
So what I've found is I will give them an alternative.
Okay.
So we will still scratch that itch. We'll get them training. We can we can be smart and get them working on their goals.
Right. Okay.
So, if I'm rehabbing someone, I can make that rehab goal specific.
like a gym focused session as well. So they still feel like they're getting into the gym, but
yeah,
it's, you know,
they're still working towards their goal.
yeah,
It's just that they're a step back from where they want to be.
yeah, yeah. I wonder, it's weird, isn't it? 'Cause especially with a doctor, that's probably one of the, I mean, you can argue probably not, but you know, if a doctor tells you something, you know, in hindsight, you'd be like, oh no, I definitely need to listen to a doctor. You know, a doctor knows all it's, but we, you know, us as people, we want to do the opposite. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, it's just, you know, like I said, whatever habit is you do 4 or 5 days a week, whether it's playing a sport, whether it's running, going to the gym. Someone says, right, you need to stop doing that. Cold turkey. That's tough.
Yeah, because you fall in love with it, haven't you?
And again, it goes, you know, it goes back to what you said about identity. You tell a meathead stop going to the gym, you've just stolen his identity. So of course it's a struggle. So
yeah, literally. I think as well in this day and age as well, because again, going back to social media, you see a lot of these perfect, you know, shredded guys, you know, all this kind of non-maintainable physiques, you know, as it were. You know, and you just got to be so careful who you follow as well, isn't it? Because it's these messages that are all getting confused around. But yeah, I mean, if a professional says something, you know, surely you've got to listen. I mean, what was it the other week? One of my clients had a little strain. I think it was in the elbow because she does like dog grooming, and then when she does some resistance with the weights as well. Because she's now doing a lot of dog grooming, she's now starting to get a bit of, is it tennis elbow, that sort of thing?
Yeah, some form of RSI.
Yeah, and she's starting to get that a little bit. And I said to her, look, I think you've now mentioned this in the second check-in now, so I think we should have a full week off the gym, which we've done, but it's still there. So now it's okay. Can you go see a physio because that's obviously out of my reach? So yeah, I think tomorrow night she's got an appointment or something like that. So I was like, yes, let me know as soon as possible because, you know, if the physio wants you to do certain things, we can put that in the program that I've given you so we can, you know, match around that. But it's really important, isn't it, to, you know, listen to your body and stuff like that.
Yeah. And again, you know, seeing the therapist and doing that rehab, that's the long-term fix for you.
Yeah.
You know, getting massaged and getting stretched out is great. And it does help. But like I say, for that long-term fix and as a tool, as a prevention tool, that rehab exercise is huge.
Yeah, I think as well with the rehab exercises, if I'm being really honest, and you probably know from experience as well, not a lot of people stick with those exercises. They'll do them for especially from, you know, general, probably, you know, doctor's notes and seeing a general you know, specialist, but yeah, they normally give them a program and say, crack on with that. And, you know, they'll never speak to them again. And then these clients, you know, they never, or, you know, these people that have the injuries, they never really follow the program for long. Is that something that really needs to change? You know, if a specialist gives you exercises, you must stick with it for a period of time and just not give up.
So it's only a habit I've really changed recently is I treat someone and I'll go through their rehab plan with them. And again, we're talking about setting targets. So I will say to them, right, this is what I want you to achieve in the next 3 or 4 weeks. But then when you come back in 4 weeks, you know, I want to see it's down to you. So I put the expectancy upon them that I want to see a positive change.
Yeah.
Because if that positive change hasn't happened, then I know full well that they haven't been doing the homework. And it's almost a waste of time and money having seen me in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I can aid the recovery process. But again, they've got to do the work to continue that recovery. You know, there's so much more benefit from doing the rehab than there is the actual treatment itself.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's a shame, really, isn't it? You know, people have probably been given the right things to do, and if they stuck with it, they'd probably be cured now with no pain. You know, and if they continue,
I've got some people that do. You know, and again, it sometimes it will depend on the people you're working with. So those people who are disciplined in the gym 4 or 5 days a week, they are the ones doing their rehab. And one of the other things I do, I think I may have mentioned it last week, their rehab work I attach to their gym workout.
Nice.
I won't necessarily don't do it at home. I'll make it part of your gym workout, because then they're more likely to do it.
Yeah.
Because all right, take this. You've got a training program anyway. Do this at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then just reinforce that if you do this rehab work, your actual workout will be better as a result. So it's immediately in your benefit to be doing the rehab. You'll actually feel the difference today.
Yeah. No, definitely. I remember, especially when I was PTing and people used to come in with these really tight muscles. Obviously, the most common one, tight hamstrings. And then I used to set a little stretching program for them. I used to say, look, do this in your warm up, etc. And they probably went over to the mat area, did a stretch, probably 10 seconds, absolutely pointless, obviously. And it's like, well, if you saw a specialist, they wouldn't say stretch for 10 seconds. They'd say stretch for 2 minutes. And then also another thing I picked up during PTing was actually not to give clients or people stretching routines, and was to actually make sure their exercises were in full range of motion.
Yep.
Because that alone, if you're stretching yourself under weight, for example, if you're doing a lat pull down, make sure that the bar takes you all the way up, stretch your shoulders, stretch all your lats. That there with the weighted stretch, you're getting a better stretch. And over time, if you continue that form, your mobility and things like that is going to be so much better. And you don't need a stretching routine. You don't need to sit there stretching for ages, working out. So that's another common thing as well. We could probably talk about that for ages, with
but that'll be another
things like that. Yeah, literally. I'll note that down for an episode theme. But yeah, it's one of those things. I think it's just being smart, isn't it? Sticking it in within the session, and then people feel like they're at the gym doing what's right ultimately for them. Nice one. Yeah, so that's probably everything. Cheers for tonight, Darren, jumping on.
Thank you again.
No, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Where can people find you again, Darren? On is it Instagram and Facebook, isn't it?
Instagram and Facebook, yeah. I'm DC_muscle_therapy.
Nice one. So yeah, we'll put that in the description below as well. My one is at b.muscle. Okay, head over to bmuscle.com as well if you're interested in the foundation phase. Have you got a website as well, Darren? We stick in the description below.
Yes, I have. Yeah. So it's dc-muscle-therapy.co.uk.
Nice one. So I'll put that in the description below as well. Nice one. Yep. Cheers, guys, for watching. Make sure you like if you got to the end of this stream. Thanks again. Yeah. And in a week's time, obviously, we will be on episode 3 already. Time's flying down already, isn't it?
There we go. Thank you, mate.
Nice one. Cool. Right. Take care, everyone. Speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.